It's Laura Liebman from Reed College, again with another episode of Pandemic Pedagogy for Luddites. Today I'm going to address a question that a bunch of my colleagues and friends have had, which is, wait a second, with my computer ready with Zoom, how do I get my students to sign up for things like paper conferences where there's not just one link that is there all the time with Zoom? And I don't want to deal with them emailing, and this time was free, now it's not free. Isn't there a better way to do this? And the answer is yes. There are two apps that I'm going to suggest work great for this and are super easy to use. I'm going to put links to them below, but they are one, Google Calendar, which I hope some of you are probably using already, and second, an app that syncs with it, which is called Calendly, which I really owe a huge shout out to my friend Lisa Gordis for introducing me to many years ago. It works great. There is a free version of it, which honestly is good enough for what you're going to need to do, though obviously pay more if you want to. So let's get started. First of all, Google Calendar, if for some reason you're not using it, let's go ahead and look and see what that looks like. Whoa. So here's my calendar. Notice that my calendar is automatically getting fed with the things that I get from Humanities 110, from my department, from my division, from the school, of what things need to happen when. And plus I put my own things on it, like notice apparently I'm getting a nail appointment on Thursday and I blocked out that time. Calendly is going to sync with Google Calendar and realize, wait, you're teaching then. That means that students couldn't meet with you then. Or if I add an appointment like for my massage, which honestly I doubt I'm going to this week, but you never know. In any case, if I add an appointment, that it's going to then remove that as a possibility for the students. Also, when I go to add an appointment, it knows I can look at my calendar, it's already populated it with when students have signed up and I know, whoops, okay, I don't want to schedule a nail appointment then because I already have a conference with my students. So it allows me to automatically have things updated between my calendar and what the students are signing up for. Much better than having to do it myself. So the app that syncs with this, that allows my students to sign up for appointments without having to bug me constantly, is called Calendly. So let's go look and see what that looks like. Now, if I'm a student and I have sent them the link, this is pretty much what it looks like. It wouldn't say second paper conference because, well, I guess we are on the second paper conference. Maybe it would say that. Okay, so it would show them, it would light up the different days that are available. They would click on it, and they would then click and set up an appointment. It would sync it to their calendar and it would show up on their calendar so that they know to show up, and it will automatically show up on my calendar as well. If they decide that they want to cancel, they click cancel on it and then it removes it from my calendar, and I don't sit around my office wondering like, where is Susie today? Like, why didn't she show up? Could I go out and walk my dog? Blah, blah, blah. I already know what's happening with them in live time. So that's super helpful. So how do I go about setting up one of these different options for them to sign up for once? So first of all, I'm going to go to my home, which is as if I'm linking in different options that I have for when my events are scheduled. I'm going to pretend old event, but let's go ahead and do it for the sake of super easy. First of all, notice it allows me for like, how am I going to coordinate students who are like getting together in smaller groups to do things with me? Like maybe they're doing, I want them to do kind of peer editing or something like that. This would be the way to do it. But I'm going to show you how to do one-on-one for today. But it's basically the exact same procedure. I'm going to give the event a name. It's going to be paper conferences. Location. Now notice I have a bunch of different options here. I could automatically do Google Meets or Hangouts, or I could do Zoom. The Zoom, unfortunately, is one of those things that costs extra money. You may decide that it's worth it. I think that it's $10 a month or something like that. So maybe for the next 3 months, it would be worth just being able to use the Zoom instead of having to add it in yourself. I'm going to choose Google Meets, Google Hangouts, which is free. And then here's my description. Please sign up for a time either before or after your paper is due. I gave my students an extension because apparently the world is ending. So I will spell things correctly. Dyslexic. In any case, so I let my students sign up either before or after a paper is due. Traditionally at Reed, we do the paper conferences after they turn in the papers and have a discussion about it. Always, here are the things you could have done but didn't. After talking about it beforehand, and I find that actually helps them write better papers as opposed to just feeling like, too bad. So, but they have the option, and some of them actually do paper, many of them. Okay, though I love the ones that do. So then I would click on next. Goes through. It says, how long do you want to do them for? I do them for 30 minutes. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to have it be next week and click there. And now I'm going to scroll down. It's going to give me options. Notice I could extend it pretty easily. The ones that are in white are the ones that are available. Not going to be available on Mondays because I teach a 3-hour class. Like, forget that. I'm going to apply that to all Mondays because I never want to do it on Mondays. Tuesday, you know what? That also seems absurd because I actually like to do some writing, and I mainly do my writing in the afternoon. Make sure you change it to PM, or you'll see a whole bunch of options that I'm going to show you how to make sure that you didn't accidentally leave it as AM, which I've done a million times. And Wednesday, I'm going to do the same thing. I also still like to write in the afternoons. I mean, write in the mornings when is my best time for writing. Already a little done. Thursday, same thing, 2 to 5. And Friday, now things are starting a lot later. I probably don't absolutely need to do that. I have a thesis meeting until 2, so I'm going to do 2. And honestly, I'm just going to do till 3. Doop. So now I'm going to go ahead and click next. And I'm going to view the live page and make sure I didn't make any mistakes, which I know that I did. So you'll see what happens if I do. So now I'm going to see that same interface. I click on this day. What's available? This looks fine. Holy cow! I don't want to be doing that. So I know I need to go back and edit. That day looks fine. So Thursday, I'm going to go back and edit. Menu, edit event type. Be meeting for that many hours. So I would go back and I would go for that one. And now, notice it did say 2 a.m. to 5 p.m. Good for you if you caught that before. Boom, p.m. Apply to March 19th. Anyway, if you're super paranoid, you can look at it. And again, inevitably, I mess one of these up. So I like to double check it a number of times. So again, after I've set this up, then I just need to view the live page. I can copy the link here, or I could have copied it on the previous page. And I usually send it in a link to my students. So through our Moodle, which is the way that I have a list of all of them, but you could just send it through whatever email way that you normally connect with your students, and they can go to this page and sign up. I actually, for the free version, you only get one live link. Big deal if you have students who need more than a half row. And I also send this to my students who are my advisees, because that way they can just sign up for advising appointments. I know some of them have been like, wait, the world's ending. What should I do? This way they can just go sign up at the same times. They really don't care that it says paper conferences. If I were one of those people who didn't want to pay the extra $10 with the event, let's go ahead and sign up for one, and I'll show you how it would work. My name is Hurley the Pug. My email, let's see if I can do it as myself. That's a little weird, but we'll try. Schedule the event. Great. And now if I go back and look at my Read Pug shows up. Doop. Come on, Hurley. Open up. And if I wanted, I'm going to actually get rid of this Google Meet because I hate, well, I don't hate it, but I don't like using it as much. And this is where I could go ahead and go through the regular way that I would do with using Zoom and just paste in here in this part the information about, instead of Google Hangouts, put in the, again, the reason why I'm proselytizing Zoom is not that they have sponsored this video, but because Zoom actually allows me to do that screen where I can see the student's screen and I can see what they're writing on, and I more easily in my experience than Google Hangouts. So that's why I'm using Zoom for it. But again, you could just go ahead and create a new Zoom instance for it, paste it in here. Honestly, for me, might be worth the $10 a month just to automatically be able to connect to the Zoom. But that's it. Systematic ways for students to sign up for paper conferences. One, Google Calendar, which please use anyway. Second, that using Calendly, again, links are below. Thanks so much. Hope that it works. Let me know what happens.